I don't anticipate there being too active an agenda at the CFTC, at least as it relates to crypto assets. I think there will be plenty of products that come through. Some of them will look similar to things that have already been listed on exchanges. I'm sure there will be examples of indices that might not reference only Bitcoin, but perhaps other types of assets as well. And then that's when you really get into the thorny issues along the lines that we're just discussing. Some of those assets might be also considered securities, but in the context of an index, is it still within the jurisdiction of the CFTC if a product references some kind of a broad-based index? And by the way, that's another important issue, right? Broad-based versus narrow-based
Yep.
indices. So we're talking broad-based here, which would be under the CFTC. So I do think there are probably going to be some interesting things before the agency on a product-by-product type basis. But as far as big policy making related to crypto assets at the CFTC, I'm not so sure. I think it would probably you probably have to see some kind of a significant piece of legislation that speaks to the issue in some way in order to see that. So I think for the CFTC, my best guess would be, let's say for the next 2 to 4 years, you probably won't see anything that's too revolutionary on the rulemaking front out of the CFTC, unless there's legislation, but that's a big if when you look at the composition of the Senate and the fact that it's pretty closely divided. But as always, all it takes is some very significant event. Usually it's an event that brings harm and pain to the American people, or at least enough of them, and then suddenly the Congress can be inspired into action, and you could see something result after an incident such as that.